don't heed the warning, it's really of no concern.
Jam on vinyl 270 sub history contest. Vinyl community and YouTube. What's up?
Jungle so far away. Blood baked into black and soil. How many times
What's up, Vinyl community and YouTubers? YouTubers! Hey, welcome to the Cosmic Realm. This is Cosmic Vinyl, and we're getting down! This is really kind of a killer album, this Manassas. I've had that for a while. I've listened to it a few times, but God, it's been a long time. It's kind of funky. Anyway, this is a contest video, YouTube, Vinyl community. Welcome to Cosmic Realm. I'm Cosmic Brian. I'm gonna rock out. Jam on Vinyl, Mike. Congratulations, brother. I do watch your channel. I might not always comment because, geez, I try. But you've got a great collection, man. Very eclectic, very cool. I love this contest, man. I love history stuff. Gosh, I too, and you're a history teacher, when I was younger, I wanted to be a history teacher or some sort of like advanced comp teacher or something like that. I was always into writing, and I was always, and still am, way into history. So there's a lot of music and songs and stuff associated with historic events. Woo! Man, you could go for days. I mean, there should be plenty of stuff to draw from the well for everybody to enter this contest. So I'm gonna try and keep it brief. But man, congratulations, dude. I'm sure you're going to be well over 3. You'll probably be on your way to 500 by the time this thing is over. So, yeah. Very cool, Mike. First of all, let's get this. Let's let everybody in. Let them see into my soul. Alright, here we go. Get those off. Get these on. See, I'm trying to abbreviate everything. Where am I? I'm lost in time, in history somewhere. No, seriously though, I am trying to keep these. I got to keep myself in check with these contest videos. So, anyway, the contest is the channel's Jam on Vinyl. The guy's name is Mike. The contest is 5 albums featuring me. I did it this way: 5 albums featuring songs that have historical significance, or are about historical events, or maybe linked to, I don't know, you kind of left it open-ended, so that's what I'm going with. And then also an album that, and I don't know what I did with my album, my mono album thing. Maybe it's over here. Let me look. And then an album that you wish that you had in mono. Jesus Christ. What did I do with it? Hold on, I'll find it. Don't you worry about that. Oh, shit. Maybe I ought to worry about it. God dang it! Just when I think I'm prepared, I'm not prepared at all! It's gotta be here somewhere. I found it. Anyway. Alright, here we go. Back on track. Whew! Thank God that I don't edit, right? Or we could have saved time. Anyway. The first one that I chose, it's an album from 1975 by a band called Para Ubu, and they're kind of a punk, post-punk, proto-punk, blah, blah, blah. The historic event is encapsulated by a song called 30 Seconds Over Tokyo. And the event is the 1942 Doolittle raids on Tokyo, Japan, also called the Tokyo Raid. It was an air raid on April 14th, 1942 during World War II by the U.S. on Japan, on the capital, kind of in retaliation for what they did to us in Pearl Harbor. They attacked Pearl Harbor. They attacked us on our homeland. Now we're going to attack you guys on your homeland. So yeah, it was the first time that Japan had been attacked on their homeland or their mainland, and it was planned, led, and named after Lieutenant Colonel James Doolittle, who went on to be General of the United States Army Air Force. So the weaponry and our strength of our attack was 16 B-25 bombers, 80 airmen, 2 aircraft carriers, 4 cruisers, and 8 destroyers. Yeah, we're rocking out. You know what I'm saying? We went over there with some... Anyway, U.S. casualties were 3 dead, and but we had... POWs 8 who planes didn't make it back. You know, some of them went into this thing. This is by the point of view. This is an eerie song, man. It's by the point of view of a pilot going on this mission from the cockpit of his B-25 bomber, hauling these 500-pound friggin' bombs that they're gonna drop on the capital city of Tokyo, Japan, knowing that they might not make it back. They could be blasted out of the air from anti-aircraft fire, or just maybe not have enough fuel to make it back. The weather turned on against them. A lot of things went against our boys. So anyway, only 3 casualties on our part, 50 dead of the Japanese, and 400 injured Japanese-wide. Not very much material damage, more psychological effect than actual physical, as it boosted American morale, since we were pretty low after the Pearl Harbor incident. So, but the song itself is got a creepy vibe to it. The tension builds. He kind of has like a spoken, almost a kind of an eerie spoken word kind of vocal style, and the synthesizers mimic the sound of like an aircraft engine. Also, you throw in a little radio transmission that like tunes in and out, and you've got quite an eerie song. It's off of this album. It's like a 45 EP. Para Ubu for 30 Seconds Over Tokyo. That's my first event. Having a little Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA. Woo! Woo! My next one is off an album. Oh, I love this. I love this album. I love this song, especially the song. This is Bruce Hornsby and the Range. And the song, and it's also the title track on this album, is called The Way It Is. The historical significance, this song came out in '86, by the way. Just a beautiful piano-driven song. Its historical significance is that it talks about the civil rights movement. First verse talks about being on the welfare line, how this huge division between the rich and the poor, and the narrator of the song is just explaining to somebody, hey, that's just the way it is, and some things will never change. It's kind of as if it's, you know, that's your draw in life. You know, there's nothing that can change that. And then the second verse goes on to talk about racial segregation and how it's morally wrong, and even though there's legislation and laws that are you know, moving it more in a positive direction, when it all boils down, there's still plenty of racial prejudice, and some things will never change. It's kind of, I mean, it sounds like a very negative song, and it is kind of melancholy. It's sad, but it's an eye-opener. And then it talks about the Civil Rights Act of 1964, suggesting that was a victory in the civil rights movement, but insists that there's plenty more work to be done here. So it talks about prejudice of against people of race on the employment line. So yeah. Anyway, it's all really it boils down to the moral thing of the civil rights movement, and in our own time, is what it really boils down to is that to make a difference, we have to do something about it, and that's what the song boils down to. The song, like I said, is just so beautiful. It's got 2 piano solos in it. It's just it's a beautiful in a sad way. It really makes me feel kind of melancholy. I love that word, by the way. But anyway, yeah, Bruce Hornsby in the Range, the way it is, and the civil rights movement. The next one is, and some might not consider this a historic event, but I'm going for it, man. I'm going for it, man. Hold on here. Gotta get my notes just in case I need to refer. This is not the original album that this song actually appeared on, but this is the album that I have with the song on it. This is retrospective, the best of Buffalo Springfield. The song is For What It's Worth. Now, the historical event, and most people are going to think this is like an anti-war protest against Vietnam kind of a song, and it is. It goes down in history as one of the greatest protest songs ever written. But when Stephen Still sat down to write the song, he initially was writing it about our boys that were getting sent to a foreign land and an Asian country to fight, for a cause that they never devised. But then he got wind that there was a gathering of a bunch of young people, 1,000 to 3,000 people down on the Sunset Strip, a gathering to have a funeral for a bar. So he started looking into that, and what it was the riots of the Sunset Strip riots, also called the hippie riots. What it really was, a protest against anti-loitering laws and curfew that was aimed basically at the young people, the youth of the counterculture movement. So, and also the bar that was closing. Not only was it closing, it was being torn down. Was Pandora's Box, which is a big meeting place and like coffee house. Where a lot of counterculture types did gather and hang out. So on Sunset Strip, well, here's all these young people, hippies, a lot of them, counterculture hippies. Man, it's the same thing. So the police showed up in friggin' riot gear, full force riot gear, shields, helmets, the whole works. Weaponry, and there was no looting, no robbing. I mean, really, if you think about it, it was less of a riot and more of just a gathering. So I'm sure they thought it was going to be this huge deal and they were going to have to come down. Anyway, there was people maybe carrying signs. I mean, there's actually a lyric in the songs about carrying signs and what a field day for the heat and stuff like that. So yeah, it goes down in history as one of the greatest protest songs. It shows up in a lot of your Vietnam type movies and stuff. So yeah, instead LA riot, not LA riots, that's a total different thing altogether. But the Sunset Strip riots or hippie riots inspired a lot of groups to do songs. Mamas and the Papas did a song about it. Zappa, the Standells did a song about it. Even the Monkees, I believe, too. So anyway, and Jefferson Airplane, I think, too. So For What It's Worth, Buffalo Springfield. The next one, again, questionable. Is it a historic, or is it just music and pop culture history? Well, I think it's definitely goes down in American history as one of the greatest events of a generation. And that's off of this record by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. The song is called Woodstock. And I don't need to give you a rundown on what Woodstock was. It was the Music and Arts Festival happened in 1969 at in New York. Not the city of New York, obviously, but a farm outside of New York on Max Yasker's farm. This album, by the way, this is Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. It's also got Dallas Taylor and Greg Reeves. I challenge you to find an OG in as good a shape as this one that I'm holding here in my hand. I got this and I bought a collection. It does have a little snowstorm going on here in the picture, but this is absolutely beautiful. No splits, no seams, no stems, no seeds, whatever. But anyway, Woodstock, the song, it was written by who was it written by? God dang it. Joni Mitchell. Duh! Written by Joni Mitchell, who actually didn't perform there, but did write the song about it. She chose, because of a scheduling conflict, she wasn't able to go. Her scheduling conflict was that she made an appearance on the Dick Cavett show. I believe she probably was kicking her management in the ass for giving her that advice, that was more important for her career. But anyway, she wrote the song. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young performed it. It's written about a concert goer who's on his journey to get there, almost a spiritual journey to get to this amazing outdoor festival. Definitely a moment in history that's definitely historical significance. But and once they get there, it's almost as if they've reached a sacred ground, like the Garden of Eden. In fact, there's a lyric that goes, "We got to get ourselves back to the garden." I always thought they were talking about Madison Square Garden. But I'm just kidding, by the way. But anyway, once they got to Max Yasker's farm, to find 500,000 strong. And there's also a reference to Vietnam in the song, too. It's bombers riding shotgun in the sky. But then when they're on their approach, they see that it's a peaceful festival, and they're overcome by peace, and the bombers turn into butterflies. So yeah, what a beautiful image. I could just see it like on a Pink Floyd The Wall type animated movie about Woodstock. I don't know, just an idea. Anyway, it's kind of a song about a religious trek to a great event. So I chose Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and Woodstock as the historic event. Now for my main event, number one is, I chose this album because I love this. It's a beautiful, beautiful record. The whole thing is a concept record. It's Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. Released in 1971. The historical relevance is the Vietnam War, social injustice, poverty, environmental issues of the day. It's the 11th studio album by Marvin Gaye. It's released on the Motown label. This is actually a concept album. I love that. What he's got on the back there. He's just such a cool, smooth character. When he took this idea to Berry Gordy at Motown, they were like, no way. So he kind of went on strike until they decided that, yeah, we don't want to lose this artist. So anyway, the narrative established is told by the point of view of a Vietnam War vet who is returning to his home country to find it in poverty and injustice and suffering. And so, yeah, I mean, it addresses, like I said, ecological, environmental issues in the song Mercy, Mercy Me. It was inspired by letters that Marvin Gaye received from his brother Frankie, who was in Vietnam at the time and would send letters back to his family here in the States. And and then when he came back, he was relating the stories and how he was being treated when he returned back to the country, and it was just, that was deplorable. This is a masterpiece. It's beautiful. It's sad, but it's just Marvin's vocal delivery is just absolutely angelic. It's magical. I'd come home from like a hard day at work after I got off work at the emergency department, or when I was in case management. I wouldn't even get out of my uniform. I'd flip off all the lights, turn on the lava lamps, put this record on, and just fall down on the couch and just let my troubles just fade, because this album just made my problems just seem so minuscule. So my number one album for this contest is Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. Deals with the point of view of a Vietnam War veteran who's returned to find his country, basically his city, and basically social ruin. So those are my historical events albums. As far as what mono album I'd want to have, I don't know if I have any mono albums. Shit, I don't even pay attention to them. I'm not an audiophile or anything. If I buy a record and I put it on and it sounds good and I like listening to it, that's all I need, man. I'm a simpleton, man. I just got to keep it simple. So I guess if I had to pick something that I wanted as a mono, I don't know. Maybe this one, the Pink Floyd's first album. I don't know. That's what I'm going with. Woo! But anyway, I know that sounds lame. That's kind of a cop-out. But you know what? Like I said, I'm a simple man, man. If it sounds good, I play it, and that's what I listen to. So all I know is, Mike, congratulations, man. What a great contest. What a great channel you have. I look forward to seeing many more videos from you. And, man, brother, keep on rocking, man. I love watching your stuff. So actually, I've learned a lot, and I've bought albums from watching your channel. So one more cheers to y'all out there in vinyl community and YouTube. I love you guys, man. Again, go check out Mike's channel, Jam on Vinyl. You'll love it. Peace out, brothers and sisters.